Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lucas Tyndale Live. We're here for another live show. We're really excited about tonight and what we're going to be presenting. It's going to be our first live cooking show. We have a great chef who has great experience and has done a lot of amazing things. You guys are going to really enjoy tonight. He's going to do a live cooking demo, which is going to be a really, really awesome thing for us to see. Hopefully it's something we can, emulate and maybe do ourselves. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But as we prepare and as people join the broadcast, as always, I want to thank everybody for following and for becoming a part of our team, our inner circle, for being so supportive. Thank you for all the calls, all the messages, all the inboxes, all the emails. Keep sending love. Keep letting me know if you like the show and what your thoughts are. And if you have any thoughts on guests or anything, I'd love to hear from you as well. I'm looking to bring some great promotions to you also. So if you're out there and you're a business owner and you want to give something to the Lucas Live audience, please let me know. And to all of you watching, I look forward to bringing great things to you. So it's going to be really cool that you guys are going to have opportunities to get discounts and free stuff, and we're going to do giveaways. And this is going to be a community. This is more than just a show. This is about building community, and I'm so excited to be bringing this to you every day. We will eventually probably get down to about 5 days a week, but right now we're just going to keep going. Tomorrow night we have Frank and Freeze from Seventh Floor Clothing. They've been in New York Times. They've shot a video for American Express and eBay about being young entrepreneurs. They hooked up with LeBron's team, and they have a really, really exciting story. So you guys are going to enjoy that tomorrow night with Frank and Freeze, who will be live on the show. And then Friday will be on at noon with Javen Shaw from Javen Fit, and he's going to be talking to us about how we can stay fit at home during this quarantine, how we can use some things around the house to stay in shape. He's a bodybuilder. He's a bodybuilder. How does a bodybuilder keep going when they're stuck at home and they can't go to the gym? Well, he's going to let us know. And if a bodybuilder can do it, certainly he can give us some tips and tricks that can help us stay in shape. And then on Saturday night at 7, we are going to bring game night to you again. For those of you who were here for game night last time, we had so much fun on game night. We were laughing. It was trivia and questions and fun and silliness and craziness, and we had a great time. So you don't want to miss game night this Saturday night at 7 p.m. Make sure you tune in. Some people, if you're at work or if you're busy, that's okay. Just jump in when you can, because you can always jump into trivia. You can always jump in and enjoy the game at whatever time you're available. Last time we went for like an hour and a half. We'll see how long it goes this time, but there were couples who did their date night at home and participated in our game night while being at home, quarantined, having a little something and enjoying themselves for our game night. So we'll be bringing that back to you live this Saturday at 7 p.m. So don't miss that. And I want to make another announcement today. We now have a text group that I want you guys to join. I want you guys to join Lucas Live Inner Circle. The Lucas Live Inner Circle, all you have to do is text Lucas Live to 31996. Text Lucas Live to 31996. Join the club. That's where you're going to get all your special promotions from our guests and from our sponsors. That's where you're going to get updates about the show. And you might even get some heads up about game night. I might put some special clues to help you answer a few of the questions so that you can win on game night. So please, please, please join the inner circle by texting Lucas Live to 31996. That's something new we have just coming out, and I'm going to be announcing some really cool features and benefits and some things that I'm going to be doing for people who join the group. So make sure you guys take some time out to do that. And before we bring our special guest on today, I just want to talk to you guys real quick. Our moment of education, motivation, inspiration. I want you guys to be thinking right now, so many Americans have received their stimulus check. Check your bank accounts. You may have gotten one today. And if not, you may get one in the near future. But so many people got stimulus checks. And depending on if you're single or married and how many children you have, you got a certain amount of money. What I want to say to each and every person listening, lean in, come in a little bit closer, okay, is you have to use this money to stimulate your life. You need to stimulate your business. You need to stimulate your household. You need to stimulate your situation. Don't just take that money and buy a bunch of stuff you didn't need in the first place, please. Okay? Take that money and invest in yourself. It's not, you don't know how many classes you can take online for $1,200, okay? How you can get You can get certified in so many different things through so many different platforms. You can, some of the people and influencers that you follow on social media. One of them is Dr. Shamika Dean is on here tonight. She's going to be a guest on the show. She offers great classes, okay, that can help people profit strategy and branding and YouTube, building their YouTubes. There's so many things. You guys know I offer LinkedIn training and relationship coaching and training, and there's books out there. Please invest in your future. Okay, please, please, please invest in the economy of your house. All right. And it's okay. And when you do that, you're going to stimulate the economy as well, because those dollars will flow to those businesses, and those businesses will spend that money. Or maybe you purchase the book off of online or Amazon or Kindle or wherever, iBooks or wherever you get your books from, and that stimulates the economy there. But make sure you put some money aside. Tell your kids, leave you alone. Tell whoever else is trying to grab that money, leave you alone. That there has to be a portion of this money that is a personal investment into yourself. I wanted to say that tonight. I think it's so important that we do that. I want to thank everybody who's just jumped in, and shout out some of the people who have commented already in the comment section. Again, Dr. Shamika Dean, you guys go make sure you're following her on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else, because she's got great information. So we're excited to have her here tonight. Pastor Richard Bennett, thank you for being here tonight. Mr. Marcus McFolling, our guest from last night. Such a pleasure to have you back. Thank you for supporting the show. Angela Hardesty, always a fan. Thank you for being here. She said game night was so fun, wasn't it? Thank you for the commercial. We had so much fun on game night. All right, Marcus said he just did, invested. All right, great lineup of guests since the start of the show. Thank you. Lester Sanders was also a guest on the show, and it was so much fun. Chris Baity, thank you for being here. We're having a great time. Tyler Thatcher, thank you so much. Tyler Thatcher is going to be on the show as well. Aunt Jessica Lane Newman here. She says she's looped in. That's what she told me. She said everybody's joining, and they're not getting linked in, they're getting looped in. I'm Lucas Tyndale, your host. She's saying get looped in. I love it. Thank you so much. Everybody, make sure you get looped in. And Cousin David Thomas, welcome to the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys make sure you're investing in yourselves. So we want to do an audio check. If you guys, when we go here, let me know if there's any echo or any feedback. We want to make sure you guys have the best experience possible. As we were testing for the show, we were having a little bit of an audio issue, but we're working it out, and we'll figure it out. All right, here is Steve Baity. Can you guys hear an echo before we jump in? You guys let me know.
What you got?
Hey, Miss Carrie. Miss Carrie has surgery. She's watching live. That's commitment. Thank you so much. My second mic.
We good, big dog?
Oh, there is an echo from me talking to you. So you're going to have to turn me down on your end, and I'll pull you up here in just a second. All right. So we're going to see. Thank you guys for letting us know about that echo. I think it's going away. Is that echo gone now? You guys let me know. I think we can hear it a little bit. Yeah, thank you. There is an echo. I think I can still hear it a little bit. We're going to work it out, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned. This is what happens when you're watching a live show. But you guys let me know. Christina said no. I don't know if no means no, there's no echo, or if no means still a little echo, Karen said. All right, we'll work it out. But I want to bring on our wonderful guest today. Steve, we're going to work this out. Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up?
Baity, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself, boss?
Doing well, doing well. So we want to, I don't know if you can turn me down a little bit on your side, or if at that point you wouldn't be able to hear me.
Might be a little close.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. There's a lot of, thank you so much to all our guests. Some people are like, yes, no, still an echo. Some people are like, seems worse. So we'll work it out. Worst case, Steve, I'm going to have to turn you up full screen, and you're going to have to do the demo, and then we're going to have to talk about it afterwards. So,
okay, that's cool.
Tuned. We'll see what happens.
All right, you want to hit it?
So, Steve, let's get started. You let us know a little bit about what we're going to see tonight.
Yeah,
and then tell
absolutely.
us a little bit about your history.
Cool. So actually, we're going to make adult French toast. All right. So there's some stuff that I know everyone has laying around the house with the kids and everything. So we're going to actually make some Fruity Pebbles that are just all juiced up. All right. So it's going to be wild. So check this out. So I got some Fruity Pebbles that are ground up real fine. All right. And I did Fruity Pebbles and Fruit Loops. All right. So I'm a man of gadgets. So you guys about to find out. I feel like I should have a sponsor deal from all these gadgets I'm about to use tonight. All right.
Hey, it's coming.
So I have my wand immersion blender. All right. So I just have some cereal in here and just going to. We're cooking. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be loud.
Go for it. Make it happen.
All right. So you grind up some cereal. All right. And then what I'm going to do next is we're going to make a little custard. All right. So get yourself some nice bread. Stop going to the grocery store and buying that cheap Wonder Bread. All right. All right. I got some really nice. I got some brioche bread. All right. This stuff is delicious. Stop it. This is why people are going to stop listening to your broadcast, because you're buying that cheap Wonder Bread. All right.
They're going to know.
They're going to know. All right. So what I'm going to do is I got some eggs, heavy cream, vanilla, and no sugar. Actually, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use agave syrup. All right. It's one of those things that I constantly keep in my pantry, and it's just something that has to be there constantly. All right. So what we're going to do is I got the vanilla in. I keep my stuff in little squirt bottles. Don't judge my life. All right.
Hey, people are judging. They're like, "What's up with these squirt bottles?" But you're a celebrity chef. Hey, we're trying to be like you, so it's all good.
Exactly. So we got eggs going in. Oh, I dropped the shell. That's what happens when you're on live TV, right?
Of course.
All right. My little pantry here. I don't know what you guys got going on in your drawers, but I got all kinds of gadgets and stuff. So I got all kind of tongs, tweezers, whatever you could think of.
By the way, you got tweezers in your drawer? Oh, man, we're missing out. Get your eyebrows and your food.
So, all right. So what we got going on? We got everything working. I'm just going to take this. I'm going to set this aside. My custard mix for the French toast, all right? Goes in the sink. I'm going to preheat a pan. All right. I'm going to set this aside. I'm about to start cutting up some berries. So I got some blackberries. We're just going to leave them whole, all right? Some fresh berries. In they go. So, Lucas, I started cooking. You know why?
I don't have any idea why you started cooking, and I'd love to hear how did you get so good? Because I started cooking too, but nobody invited me to the Olympics.
Nah, I started cooking, man, because it's the only thing I'm good at, to be honest, and I didn't want to be single for the rest of my life.
Okay, that's smart. Very smart.
But no, I met a teacher, man, Rebecca Leibowitz from McKinley. She changed my life, man. She taught me everything that she knew about culinary arts, man, and it's one of those things that I never forgot. So I've been grinding ever since at it.
That's amazing. So you've been cooking for 20 years. And this year, can you tell us a little bit about the Culinary Olympics?
Yeah, so
I had not even heard of the Culinary Olympics until you told me about it.
All right, I don't know if everyone caught that. I just put some wine with my berries, okay? I don't know if
we do that too. We just cook with it. We just.
And a little salt. You say cook with it. You ain't over to drinking it?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, it didn't make it to the whatever.
So Culinary Olympics was crazy over in Germany. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's 175 different countries, and they had over 2,000 chefs that were present. And it was the craziest thing I think I've ever done in my life, Lucas. Hands down, man down.
Wow, that's amazing. And this was when? This was not 10 years ago. This was a few months ago, right?
Yeah, I went in February. Yeah.
Okay, right. You were overseas in February, right?
Correct.
You didn't come back with a scratchy throat or dry cough or anything?
Man, I came back like a better version of me. That's what I came back as, to be honest.
Right. Okay, good. People are still hearing a little bit of an echo. I don't know if you can. Those who are watching, we apologize for the echo. The echo is my voice is coming through his phone, and it's picking up in his microphone. So you can hear what he hears. So when I talk, it's coming through his phone out of his speaker and into his microphone. So that's why it's echoing when I talk. We do apologize for that. So Steve, I don't know if there's any other adjustments you can make with the volume. I don't want you to not be able to hear me. So we'll make it work.
I'm sorry, everybody. It's me. This is what happens when you got a chef doing technical stuff. It just doesn't work. And poor Lucas is getting the brunt of it.
It's all good. It's all good. They keep telling me, they're like, Lucas, you're echoing. It's you.
I like how you were quick to throw me under the bus just now too. That was the funny thing about it.
Hey, listen. I gotta keep going every night with this show. You know what I mean? Like, I need the people to come back. You know?
You like it's Steve. It ain't me.
Right. It's Steve, right? Lester said Steve uses big money bread.
Oh.
He's using big money bread out here.
So one thing I keep in my house, keep some soft butter. Like, I don't know why y'all got those bricks of margarine. Get some real butter in your life too. Stop using the parquet and everything. Get real butter.
No more parquet. No more country crops. Sorry, everybody. Use your stimulus to get real butter.
Ain't nobody about to buy no real butter. Mess around with me. All right, so check this out. Bread.
Real bread. Big money bread.
All right.
Seriously, hey, people take notes because a lot of times we buy the cheapest thing and have the worst experience.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know why. We're like, when I go to this restaurant, it's so much better.
Yep.
And it's because they put a few more dollars into their bread and they charge you a lot more for it. And you fell in love.
It's true. Now, can you guys see this?
Yep.
Money.
Looks good.
In the pan. I'm telling you, your kids are going to want this like every day.
So, okay, we can see it, but please again, tell us what you're dipping that bread into. I mean, it looks like bread. It looks like some other kind of breadcrumbs, but you told us at the beginning what that really is. What is it?
So it's brioche bread. So it's an egg-based bread. It's real eggy, real buttery. Lots of layers to it. It's just delicious stuff. And it's one of those things, like I said, you guys got to get it in your life. I don't know what you guys got in your kitchen right now, but you guys need to get down with it. It's the best thing going.
Right. Peter Barnes said adult French toast. It's all about it.
So the good thing about cooking at the house, like I cook like this all the time. People think I just do it at the restaurant or if I just do it for special events or catering. Like I cook like this all the time. But I always say have fun. I don't think people have enough fun when they cook. They really don't. I think they just kind of play it safe. Not me. Like I said, you got to get out and just kind of do a little different thing. So
that's awesome. I think that's a great tip for all of us in-home culinary. Where's my man Marcus McFarland?
Do you guys see this? Do you see this?
I think people are drooling.
Get Marcus. Get Marcus on the camera. Because I want to see Marcus' face.
You know, Marcus McFarling, our guest from last night, if you guys don't know. Him and Steve also are great friends. And Marcus McFarling is also a secret chef.
Don't call him a chef.
It out in the kitchen. Just say. He just called you the best ever. He said, Steve is the best boss I've ever worked for.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So look, this is coming together real fast. I'm about to plate it up real quick. I don't want it to keep echoing, so I feel so bad that your phone is echoing, Lucas. I just want to come hug you. I really do.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's on me. I'm sorry. Hey, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. I understand it can be hard to watch, to listen to when there's a bit of an echo, but you guys are strong supporters. So I want to shout out my strong supporters again and ask you guys to join our inner circle by texting Lucas Live to 319-96. Now you just heard that twice because I'm single, so there's no reason not to just text Lucas Live to 319-96 right now. All right.
Get it. So check this out. I just started to plate this up. I'm going like full blown show on this. I don't even know why, but I'm like just going crazy with it.
Hey, do it.
But this French toast, the berries. Like you don't even need syrup with this. That's the thing about this.
Wow.
Go crazy with it.
Great. That's good.
That's good.
We want to enjoy some.
You see that?
Wow. No, wait. That looks like when you watch the cooking show and they already have one done. Was that already done? Or you just did that?
I just did that. Like literally, we up here talking and I'm cooking.
Wow. Pull that toward the camera a little more. Spin that around so we can see it. I see you trying to pull back. There we go. Right there. That's it. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Sorry. There we go. I'm
out. You want to work on this next dish, Lucas? What's up?
Yeah, let's go. What you got for us now?
So I know a lot of people are watching their weight, so we're gonna do a vegetarian curry real quick.
Cool. A lot of people have a weight problem. Can't wait to eat. Can't wait to get in the kitchen. Can't wait to spend that stimulus check. We gotta gain some weight. Actually, we gotta slow down and wait.
Oh man! So Lucas, give me a second. I'm gonna set back up, man. But you.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're gonna pause just a second. I'm gonna kill your mic for just a second. When you're ready, there you go. Boom. So welcome, hey, ladies and gentlemen. We're so excited. We're so glad to have you guys here. We're still gonna keep our live view of Steve's kitchen. The echo was a result of the mic and the speakers. We're working it out. It's a new show. We're so glad you guys have joined us. It's working out. We're having fun. I want to shout out everybody who's making comments. There are more comments than I can keep up with tonight, which is a good new problem. I mean, you guys are commenting. You guys are engaged. We're having so much fun. Let's see. What do we got now? Earlier, Marcus McFarling said that Steve was the best boss he ever had, which is a true story. He was actually his boss at Malone University, which is really cool. Donna Schaefer, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Donna. Thank you for being here. Again, Shamika Dean, we're so glad to have you. Chris Baity, we're so glad to have you. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Rashida, thank you again. Ebony, Cedric, my man, thank you for joining the show. So excited to have you here tonight. And everybody else who's here, Erin joined my text group. I texted her last night while I was messing with this, and she was kind enough to join the text group while I was testing it out. And I'm so grateful for that. And for everybody else who's joining right now, we're going to send you guys some special promotions. Being a part of this text inner circle is going to be beneficial to you. I talked to someone today who's going to be coming on the show probably the week after next. They're going to be doing 4 giveaways. Well, the giveaways are going to go to people who are part of this inner circle. So you want to make sure that you join right away. Again, when we do our game night, we're going to have some fun, and we may give some clues to the text group to a few of the questions that'll give you a little bit of a head start. We see Steve here getting started, setting stuff up. Steve, I know you can hear us. Your man, Stuart Lido, is in the house. He is here enjoying the show. Huge supporter. They've been friends since high school. We're so glad to have you. Dr. Lido, thank you so much for being here. Sexy Rob is in the house. We enjoyed his music last night. If you guys weren't here last Friday night, go back and watch the replay. It's available on YouTube. Check Sexy Rob out as he gave us a live performance from his living room to ours. You guys don't want to miss it. Played so many great hits. Susie Lance, thank you so much for being here on the show. Susie Lance, I have not reached out to you yet, but I'm calling you soon. Susie, I'd love to have you on the show. Susie Lance is a wonderful woman. Her and her husband are pastors, and she is also a leadership development specialist. Susie Lance, just look for my call. I look forward to talking to you soon. Andrea, we appreciate you being here tonight. Everybody who's jumping in. Ebony said the inner circle is the winner circle. You want to be a part of the inner circle, so don't forget to text us at Lucas Live at 31996. And we'll get back here with Steve. I think he's ready for us. Steve, hit the mic.
I'm ready.
The show is yours.
So, sweet potatoes, corn, all right, 3 different color peppers, spinach, arugula, chickpeas, 5 roasted tomatoes, green chilies, and fresh pineapple. All right.
Cool.
That's just the start. Onion, garlic, ginger, curry, coriander, parsley. And also we're going to put a little bit of yogurt in it, all right, to bring it all together. That's like a mouthful, right? So also, I like to serve this with rice or, believe it, grits. Yeah. It's a real good combo. So, and then for some heat, I got some sriracha.
Gotta have the sriracha. We got some other people jumping in on YouTube. Thank you guys for here watching live on YouTube, Periscope, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We're so excited to have you. Thank you guys for being here. Pardon the echo. We're glad to have you. Thank you for being here tonight. Some people are asking, they said, I'm going to need that recipe. You say it real quick. You see how nasty stuff, they say it real fast, so you can't catch it. Right.
So we're going to do recipe cards for everybody. Luca's going to send them out after the broadcast for everyone.
Everybody who's in the inner circle. So you might want to join so you can get that recipe card. So you're going to have to text Lucas Live to 31996. Join the inner circle. I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
You're pushing the inner circle. You really are.
We got to make it happen, man.
Yeah, no doubt. So
we got to build this community.
Yeah, we really do. So, I don't know if everyone saw this, but I use a lot of kosher salt. I just throw it in a tin. I don't use iodized salt. I always use kosher salt and fresh ground pepper. Get yourself a pepper mill, all right? And some fresh herbs. I know, you guys got parsley from when your grandma was in high school. All right, y'all got thyme and oregano. I got these herbs from way back with Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad. Get rid of them. Get yourself some fresh herbs, okay?
Oh, fresh herbs. Go to Fresh Time and get some fresh herbs. Go to a Whole Foods for you.
You know I'm telling the truth.
Right.
So
they said this dish risk is serious. They said you're killing it out here.
So we're just going to do a little fresh herb just to finish this off. All right. Parsley, cilantro. Look, if I was in the kitchen, I probably would be a lot more precision, have a lot more precision. I'm at the house to get this. I got herbs and stuff everywhere. I really don't care. I really don't right now.
Somebody said, what's he making? They want to hear it again.
So this is vegetarian curry. All right, it has pineapple, corn, sweet potatoes, chickpeas, 3 different types of pepper, and then I got spinach and arugula, salt, pepper, every kind of seasoning you got in your cupboard right now. It's a healthy alternative for dinner. Instead of having to eat a lot of fried food and heavy food, this is where you go. It's real nice, light and fresh.
Awesome. Steve, Pam Oster says, tell everyone how easy it is to grow herbs.
Hater.
No,
it's super easy. You can just put them on your windowsill. Unfortunately, I tried to grow some herbs. They died because I ain't never home. But they're super easy to do. Honestly, like literally, just throw them on your windowsill.
Awesome.
So this dish is done.
Wow. People are loving it. They're saying, yum. Yummy sounds delicious. Thanks for thinking of us vegetarians. We always get left out. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm about to bring this over to the camera so you can see it. You see this?
Wow. Just hold that there for another second. We can almost taste it. Almost get it.
Man, so that's from my kitchen to you guys, man. This is what we do. So I do apologize. It's my fault, not Lucas's, on the technical difficulties. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus because I don't want him to lose any followers over me. Then he's ready to come down to South Carolina and fight me.
You see, I dressed like I was in South Carolina today. I was like, I'm gonna act like it's warm here in Ohio.
That weather is trash down in Ohio.
It's not good. I can say that.
No, it's not.
Not good at all. So Steve, I gotta talk a little less.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of echo. So I'm gonna need you to take over the show.
I got you.
And walk through some of the things that you've done, some of your accomplishments, and tell us a little bit of the story of Steve Baity. And I know a little bit about your father and his inspiration as well. So please just share a little bit with us.
So, born and raised in Canton, Ohio. I'm a proud Cantonian. I really am. And I grew up in the projects, Pulley Hill. Like that's where I grew up in Hillview. So those were my old stomping grounds. So, but at the end of the day, food saved my life. I tell people that all the time. Is that I remember that one of the greatest ministries I ever learned how to do was feed people, and how that was one of the greatest ministries that the Lord ever gave me. And so I just remember that being in high school with little direction, not knowing where I was going to be next. And that's when, like I said, I met Rebecca Leibowitz, who introduced me to culinary arts, and then who actually reached out to Pennsylvania Culinary and some other institutes to get me accepted into culinary art school. And then from there, I went to a 4-star, 4-diamond resort. And I worked with some amazing chefs. I worked with a certified master chef, Joseph Huber, and even now my inspiration to this day, Chris Madison. Chris was from the 1913 Room, also from Cygnus Restaurant. And this guy took me under his wing and taught me everything I knew about fine dining. And he really made me into the chef that I am today. And then from there, I've been in contract management. But my father, we talk about goals. And my dad, we call him Pops. Anyone who knows my dad, we call him Pops, because he was just that cool. And so the swag, the personality that I have, I credit to my dad. You know, my dad, he just has that it factor. But I remember when I first had my son, Seth, that's how I got into competitive fruit and vegetable carving, is because I wanted to have a legacy. I just didn't want to have this life that everyone says Steve was a great chef, but I really wanted to have a legacy. And that's when I started getting into competitions, and which obviously landed me on the Food Network. But I remember that my first Food Network challenge is that I failed miserably in front of the world. And I remember calling my dad, and it was my dad who kind of gave me that pow. You know, he really did. And so you move forward, and then, you know, I have another, Food Network competition. And then from there, I had the pleasure of winning Chef of the Year of different categories through the American Culinary Federation. And then from there, you get a chance to compete into the Olympics. And then from there, it's just so many accomplishments I've been able to have in my life that I've been so blessed that like this was never part of the plan, Lucas, ever. But, I think, there's a lot of scriptures out of there, but it says in all that ways acknowledge him, and I've always tried to keep the Lord like the forefront, like number one. And doesn't mean I've always made the right decisions, because that's a whole nother segment. But I honestly, in my heart, I always try to give God glory, whatever I've done. And I always said, God, if you could take these hands and do something miraculous with it, you can have them. And because I can't draw, I can't sketch, but I can carve fruit, I can carve ice and butter and do all these silly things. But, it's that God thing. I tell people, is that, and I don't know how else to explain it, because I can't draw, I can't sketch, I can't do anything, but I can carve fruit and do these amazing things.
That is amazing, Steve. I muted you for just a second so they can hear me. What I want to do, Steve, is I'm going to pull up some pictures that you sent me of some of the work that you've done. And I'm just going to click through a few of the pictures. At that time, I'm just going to turn it over to you. I'm going to bring this up on the full screen so they'll be able to hear you, but they'll be able to see some of the pictures. And just so you know, Steve, everybody is just amazed. The comments are going. I haven't had this many comments on a Lucas Tyndale live show yet. People are really, really loving this. They're having so much fun. People are shouting out pops, showing love. Competitive vegetable carving. Somebody asked. We're going to show them in just a second what we're talking about there. There's just so many people who are just really, really glad to have you. And I can't say it enough, Steve, how glad I am to have you here on the show today. And in front of everybody, I would like to propose that you come back. Okay, so you think about that, all right? I want to have you back soon. You owe me one, and we're gonna have the sound all right, and everything's gonna be perfect. And I'm gonna have you back, and it might be as soon as next week. So buckle up, get ready, send me your schedule, and let's make it work. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up. I'm gonna share the screen here in a second, and I want to show everybody some pictures, and you can talk us through what we're seeing here a little bit as that comes up. Steve, I'm going to unmute you and you talk us through. I'm going to show a few pictures just of a little bit of your work. Some of it is the vegetable carving and some other things that you sent me. So we'll click through a few of these here with everybody. And you're back on.
So this is logo work, so I've been blessed to my home base, my Bruce Wayne by day is I work at Wofford College. And so this is one of the logos that we've done for some of their special events. So I think that's the great thing about being a culinarian is that everyone does chicken, everyone does beef, everyone does all these things. But as a culinarian, you have to be able to separate yourself. And so fruit and vegetable carving has been my outlet to be able to separate me from every other chef that potentially I've had to go against in a job market. And so this gives me the edge. And so this is one of those things that you can give to a client that someone else that might be my competition, they can't do. And so this is a great talking point for a client, because at the end of the day, it's all about bragging rights for my clients. So whoever our clients are, whether they're on campus or in my personal life, I love to do things like this for them.
Awesome. Let's look at another dish here. What's that?
So people sometimes get caught up, obviously, in the food end of what I do, but that's not just me. But this is actually a salad that I made for one of our clients. So it's about elevating food. And so what can you do with a salad to be able to take it to the next level? And this is one of those things where me and the team, we got together at Wofford and we came up with this great dish to be able to serve our guests.
Awesome. Looks amazing. Let's check another dish.
Oh man. So this is a surf and turf. That's some shrimp and some beef. Some of y'all bougie folk call them scrimp. Scrimp. Let me get some of that scrimp.
Okay. Delicious scrimp. Oh let's go for one more. What is this beautiful bright plate?
So it's actually hummus and cucumbers, broccoli. There's an egg, tomatoes. So once again, my job with the team is that this is what we do. People eat with their eyes. So it's about making food as attractive as possible. I like to use the word sexy. You know, I'm a visual person. So whenever I look at, whatever creation that I'm doing, it's like, it has to be sexy. So this is sexy to me. And sexy is not a bad thing. So some of y'all folks that talk about, oh my God, he said sexy. Yeah, I said sexy. Make your food look sexy out there.
Make your food look sexy. I love it. All right. Just so y'all know, Chef Steve Baity just told us to make the food sexy, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag make the food sexy tonight. We're so grateful that we have him on the show. We're going to look at a few more pictures with him. We're excited because our theme tonight is make the food sexy. Let's make it happen. Back to you, Steve. Make it sexy.
Oh man, those lamb chops look delicious. I forgot I made those. But once again,
that was mine.
Oh,
I had made that earlier. Yeah, my fault. Just trying to trip me up. Okay, baby.
What else you got?
All right, let's see. What do we have here?
So here's the goal, is that everyone's doing fruit platters and everyone can do a vegetable platter. But once again, the goal as a culinarian is that how do you take watermelon and honeydew and cantaloupes and strawberries and pineapple and papaya, and how do you take all these different variations of fruit and you put it on something that, once again, that as a person, for me to be able to provide for my family and be able to elevate the cost of something like this. This is what we do as in my world, in my field. So this is what these hands do, So I thank God every day that I can do this. So this is just a fruit platter, and most people will say it ain't just a fruit platter, but that's just what my expectations is when it comes that I hold myself to that standard about doing a fruit platter, and that's a lot of practice, with the garde manger as far as the fabrication of the melon in the top corner and just how you slice the fruit, you lay it out. So it's one of those things that lots of years of practice to be able to provide for our clients.
All right, Steve. First of all, this looks amazing. I muted your mic for a second so they could hear without the echo. Steve says this is a fruit platter. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where you're from or where you've been, but I've never seen a fruit platter like this in my life. Steve posts food that looks so good that I always think if I was at a party and I saw this sitting there, I'm not touching that. I'm not gonna what do I look like being the first person to go in and mess this up? Somebody like they spent half their life putting this fruit thing together and they put their heart and soul in it and dedicate it to their loved ones. And I'm gonna go over there and just grab a strawberry. I'm not doing it. Okay. So Steve did that. He posted a picture of a cheese platter that he made one day. And my instant thought, and I commented on the picture, I think it was on LinkedIn. I'm like, Steve, nobody's touching that, my man. Like, nobody can grab a piece of cheese and make the Jenga thing fall, my man. It just looked too good. So, Steve, it's sexy. That's what the people are saying. It's sexy. It's beautiful art. You do an amazing job. And this is something that's really special. Steve, I'm going to bring you back on. I just want to talk a little bit more about this graffiti carving. Your brand, if you could tell us a little bit about that. And then how did you get into carving? And you said you can't even draw. So how did you learn how to do this?
So graffiti carving, when I entered into my first fruit and vegetable competition, I was asked, what's the name of your business? What's your identity? I didn't have one. And, and I meditated on it. I thought about it. And one of the first form of art I ever saw was walking home from Hartford, and I saw graffiti. That was one of the first form of art I ever saw. And if you think about graffiti, it's all about tagging. It's all about letting someone know that you own this space, that when someone walks up and they see that building that you have tagged or whatever, it's like, oh, wow, so-and-so has say they own this. And so graffiti carving is just that. And so when I upload something onto social media or the internet, I want people to be able to know, oh, yo, that's Baity's art. That's graffiti carving. It has to be. It has that look. And so it's all about me just tagging my art. And so when I was 19 years old, I got my first job, and I remembered that I had saw some art at the hotel, some pumpkin carvings and some different things of that nature. And I started that path of carving fruit. And I used a pumpkin carving kit on a watermelon. And my first carvings was trash, Lucas. I mean, they were horrible. I mean, they were trash. But I kept at it. And it was just something about it that that I had in my heart that I pursued. And a lot of fruit salad later, and a lot of eat a lot of vegetables, I've got to the point that I am today. But it's the goal is about resilience. It's not about giving up, and it's about getting the desired result. And so whatever your discipline is that you got to be willing to put that work in. So I'm self-taught. I've never taken a carving class in my life. I've never taken a sculpting class in my life. Everything that I've done to this point in my life is I've taught myself. I've invested in books and knives and videos and done my due diligence as far as researching on the internet. And then I put that time in and I practice. Right now, Lucas, I can walk over to my refrigerator, and I got a carving in there that I've started and I haven't finished yet. That's how bad I want it.
Steve, I'm going to put you on mute again. I hope you guys are hearing this. We are often limited only in our own imagination. We're limited by what we think we can do. You guys know I started this show like a week ago, and I was just like, I'm just going to start it and see what happens. Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties. Things don't always go perfect, but we're having a lot of fun. You guys have been a great audience. You guys have been tapped in, tuned in, reaching out. We're so excited about that and appreciate that so much. What Steve has been able to learn, he took a pumpkin carving kit and taught himself how to do amazing art with vegetables and do things that people couldn't even imagine. So somebody out there right now today is thinking of trying to learn something new, and you think it's too late, or you're too old, or your kid wants to learn it and you think they're too young. Please don't ever be limited. One of the greatest things you can do, and let me say this to all the new homeschool parents out there, one of the greatest things you can teach your child is how to use their imagination. The sad thing is, oftentimes the thing we shut down the most is their imagination. You understand they need to do their math work. You understand they need to do their science. You understand they need to read that book and do their English homework. So you say, sit down and get your work done, turning your work to the teacher. But that is not imagination at work. Children learn best through play. Children learn best through imagination. And what happens is we stifle our children's imagination, and then when they get older, they don't have the creativity. We are moving into a world where information is readily available. We already live in the information age, and now artificial intelligence and technology is taking over in so many ways. So they won't need someone who can add real fast. They don't need someone with the best handwriting. They're going to need someone with creativity and imagination to bring in the new economy. And the new economy is about to start soon, because when they bring people back to work, there are going to be some jobs that they say, we no longer need you to do it. While everybody was away, we figured out the computer can do it. So I'm sorry, so-and-so, we don't need you back. So encourage your children and don't stop yourself right now from using your imagination, building that muscle so that you can learn to do something creative. Steve, I applaud you for learning to do that. And it's really, really exciting. I'd love for you to share a little bit more on that point that I just made about not stifling imagination. I know you have children as well. If you could talk to us a little bit more about that point.
You know, I want to take it on a whole nother level, is that I'm going to digress and go back to the Culinary Olympics, because I went as an independent artist. I didn't have a sponsor. I had some amazing people that believed enough in me that sowed seeds into me financially for me to be able to go. But I went as a total independent, no major sponsor, because I wanted it that bad. I told myself that I deserved an opportunity to show the world and go up against the world. Now, unfortunately, I didn't land in the top 3. I didn't. But at the end of the day, it wasn't about medals. What it was about is that I owed it enough to myself to put myself out there and to follow my dreams. And with that being said, although I didn't finish in the top 3 in either category, that I scored high enough that I got 2 diplomas of culinary excellence that I was able to bring home and represent the United States of America, which is phenomenal. So my name got to go down twice in history by going and just following my dreams. And so as a total independent, that I had some wonderful people that sowed seeds and believed in me along this journey. But the point was, is that I was trying to be creative and working my gift, and so that's the same thing I encourage my kids to do. Seth, Olivia, Michaela, and Judah Rose, is that just to be creative and follow your dreams. And it's amazing what my kids do. They scare me because their brain works so fast. And so they're beautiful. And so I think if you're out there, and I think one of the biggest tricks that you can tell yourself, it's not the information that people tell you about you, it's what the information that you tell yourself is, that I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, I'm a failure. And all these things that I think that we talk ourselves and we jump off that ledge. You got to stop doing it. I says, I think one of the greatest scriptures that David actually said that I refer back to all the time is that, soul, why art thou disquieted? Hope thou in God. And so you got to believe in yourself. You got to be your biggest fan. You got to applaud yourself. You got to be the one that has to say, hey, you did a good job today. You got to tell yourself that. I made that post a couple of days ago, and this is stuff I tell myself. Steve, you did a good job today. And people go, man, why would you do that? Because I have to encourage myself, because this is a lonely road when you're on this path to greatness. So wherever you are, is that you got to believe in yourself. You got to encourage yourself. People look at my brand, they go, you wear your name on your chest and you wear your name on your hat. Yeah, because no one else is going to do it. Who else is going to do it if I don't believe in me and promote myself? So definitely, whoever you are, you got to go for
it. Steve, that was excellent. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, I can't imagine that you guys aren't inspired by this guy, his story, his talent, his skill, his ability. This show is about education, motivation, inspiration. I hope you're learning something today and walk away feeling more educated. I hope you're motivated today to do something different and go after your goals and dreams. I hope you're inspired by his words, by his thoughts, by the things that he's accomplished. And I like that he said he celebrates himself. He cheers himself on. We live in a society where people want to tear you down constantly, and then they judge you when you celebrate yourself. They're like, oh, you're cocky, or, oh, all you do is talk about your own success. You have to celebrate you. You have to encourage yourself. It said in the Bible, David said he encouraged himself, which meant he looked at himself in the mirror and said, you're good enough. You're smart enough. You're lovable. You're capable. It's so important not only that we tell our children that, but that we tell ourselves that. Steve, this is amazing. People are so excited. There's more cheers, more clapping. People say, just believe. Lester, thank you so much for that. Steve, I want to bring you back in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have some questions, please feel free. Please contact and connect with Steve first. I absolutely connect with Steve. Make sure you guys are connected here on social media. Follow him, connect with him, as well as connect with me. You guys can send us your questions, inbox us. Maybe next week we'll have him on again, and possibly. And maybe we can answer some of those questions. Maybe we'll start the show by answering some of the questions. So if you have questions specifically for our guest here today, please inbox those to me or to Steve, and we'll have him back on. Steve, I'd love for you to give our audience some parting words, some thoughts about, from your journey, what you learned. You've already shared a little bit, but you really inspired a lot of people today. So if you could just leave us with some parting words, I think that would be great.
So I'd like to close any section of any kind of presentation I do with this simple story, and it's called Push the Rock. And it's a story about a young man who prayed one night, and he asked God about his gifts and his dreams, and he had some goals and some aspirations, and God said, go down to the middle of the town. He says, there's a big rock. He says, go push the rock. And so the young man is all fired up, and he gets out of his bed and he goes down there and he starts pushing the rock. And so this rock is huge. It's gigantic, and he can't even put his arms around it, and he's pushing this great big rock, and it's not moving. And so he goes day after day, week after week, month after month, pushing this rock. And then obviously this rock is too big and the rock doesn't move. And so people begin to talk about him. People begin to take pictures of him. People begin to talk about him on social media and tag him in posts and ridicule him and say, look at this guy pushing this rock, he's weak. And it just goes on and on and on, year after year. And so one day in his frustration, the young man wants to give up. And at that night, he goes home and he says, God, I'm done. He says, you gave me this stupid dream and I got all these aspirations and I got these goals. And you told me to go push that stupid rock and nothing's happening and people are making fun of me. And God answers him. He goes, the point of you pushing the rock was you were never going to move the rock, but the rock was designed to make you a better you. And so he says, look at your back, how strong it is from pushing that rock. Now you can bear the weight of the dream that you have. He says, look how strong your legs are from pushing this rock. He says, now you have the stamina to take this journey. He says, look at your arms and how strong and how defined they are. He says, now you have the look of a champion. He says, look at your skin and how tough it is from all the words that you had to endure. He said, now you can endure the criticism of this next journey. So many times the rock that God sets in front of us that we go to push, we think we're supposed to move it. The rock is never going to move, my friend, but the rock is designed to take you into the next chapter, to the next journey, and to get you ready for what God really has in your life. So push the rock, my friends.
Steve, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, if this was your first time seeing Steve, I hope you guys realize he's somebody well worth following, okay? He is extremely talented, extremely humble. He wants to give back. He wants to help out. He wants to inspire. Steve, you were just a great, great guest to have here on Lucas Tyndale Live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here. We are going to continue to bring you great content like this. Again, I promise you, Steve will be back. We also have some other chefs that are going to be doing some demonstrations. It's important that we bring a variety of topics to the show here and a lot of great people to you. So guys, stay tuned, pay attention, make sure you sign up so you guys can be in the inner circle, get as much content and information as possible. Tomorrow night, again, I have Frank and Freeze from 7th Floor Clothing. They made a hat that was literally seen around the world. They made a hat. All of a sudden, one day they had an idea, and this hat was seen around the world. Their clothing brand has taken off. American Express got behind them. eBay got behind them. The mayor of Akron, Ohio, where they're from, got behind them. They've done some amazing things, and those two gentlemen will be on. Friday will be on at noon to talk to Javen Shaw and learn about fitness at home while we're all quarantined and while we're all inside. And then Saturday night at 7 p.m., we'll be back for another game night. Ladies and gentlemen, we laughed. We had fun. We learned new things through our trivia questions. We did Black Card Revoked. If anybody's ever heard of that, that is a crazy, funny game about Black culture. We did general trivia. We did 5-second rule, where you had to come up with 3 things in 5 seconds. And we may even add something else. My wife, my beautiful wife, Corinne Marie, has also agreed to host with me. So I've said it now, babe. So now you got to do it, because now the people will expect. So she'll be here with me live in studio, and we will be doing our game night this Saturday night. And we'll be bringing you some more great content soon. You guys have been amazing. Everybody, don't forget to push the rock, as Steve taught us tonight. Check him out and continue to follow Steve Baity in this journey. Steve, my friend, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to throw it to you to close it out. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I salute. Push the rock, y'all. Peace out.
Everybody have a great night. Thank you for being here.